Just be glad for all you have that's in today.
Hey everyone, Connie here, and welcome to my blind reaction to JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Vento Aureo, or Golden Wind if you prefer, episode 22. So, last week we got to episode 21, but technically that was already a week behind, because last week there was actually 21.5, a recap. This week is our first new episode post the recap, and we're probably going to be getting into some big stuff now, the next big part of the series, based on what happened last time. So, last time, the continued fight against the boss and King Crimson happened. Giorno and the others stepped in, and the boss had to step back. They managed to save Trish, and they further cemented their betrayal by heading out and working together, basically. The only one who didn't go with them was Fugo, who had just, even though he agreed with Bruno's mindset on it all, could not bring himself to actually, basically, in his eyes, commit suicide like that. Yeah. And it was brought up in one of the comments of that video that Fugo is a more critical thinker, that he's more of the analytic type, and because of such, yeah, he's definitely the one who would think that way and choose to stay behind. And I agree. Fugo has been stated to be really fucking smart, even though we haven't really seen that yet, especially in his episodes. Yeah, still salty about that. This is definitely a reason for him to have made that decision. But the big appeal for the last episode was definitely Narancia. Narancia had a really great moment, a really big moment that really got me emotional. Loved it. Love Narancia. He's amazing. I love that he's making it his mission, his purpose to protect Trish now, because he sees himself in her, and that's wonderful. That's awesome. So yeah, the boss has declared specifically Bruno and Giorno as having betrayed him. But I assume that they're to assume that anyone with those two would also be considered part of that. We heard a voice at the end of the last episode who was relaying the boss's message. I still don't know who that was supposed to be. It wasn't the boss, that much is sure. So it's someone who's got to be working with him, someone in his inner circle. So I'm interested to see who that ends up being. Now, I know that there is a new opening. Well, it was obvious. You guys had said, oh, there's going to be a point where a new opening would make sense. It's going to reach that big point. And even just from the last episode, you could tell it's like, oh yeah, we're getting a new opening next episode. It was super obvious. And I know people like it. I have not seen it. I have not heard the song, but I know people like it. And I'm hoping to like it too. Fighting Gold, while good, was not anywhere near the best JoJo song. And honestly, it kind of got old after a while, to the point where it's still good, but it doesn't have the appeal of some other JoJo songs, especially Crazy Noisy Bizarre Town from Diamond and Unbreakable. That's still probably my favorite. It just doesn't have the staying power, which is also why I had the issue with them not changing the opening before this. Because it gets really old after a while, and it just, again, it did not work for like half of the episodes we've already been through, almost. But yeah, I'm wondering exactly what we're going to get with this opening. I assume we're going to have some more focus on our main characters, I'm sure. Probably show some new characters who are going to start to appear, maybe even the boss, maybe show more of him. I don't know. I also have no clue what to think about what the song will be. I was told the title at one point in one of the past videos. I don't remember what it is. I do not remember because I've been trying to forget. I've been actively trying to forget. Please do not tell me that stuff. Do not tell that that is considered a spoiler. Because the title of a song, especially for a show like JoJo, could very easily spoil some stuff. Like Crazy Noisy Bizarre Town actually tells you a lot about Diamond is Unbreakable. So it's like, I don't know, I don't remember what the title was. I'm very happy about that because it could probably spoil a lot, especially if it's specifically using some important or notable words or phrases or anything. Um, and I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see. I don't like spoilers, okay? Please don't do that. Please do not do that. Um, but we're going to begin. So when the screen fades to black, pause this redirect and go to the description below. Follow the link to the reaction, and after you watch it, come back here to the redirect and resume play. Because after it fades to black and then fades back in, everything from that point forward will be my afterthoughts and will contain spoilers to the episode. So that being said, thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you at the reaction. And we are back, and we will begin with spoilers in 3, 2, 1, now. I really don't like seeing Narancia tortured. I don't like seeing him cry. I don't like seeing him suffer like this. I'm being completely honest here. Narancia is my favorite character from this, and probably one of my favorite JoJo characters, period. I just really love him. And it's like, and it goes with any character I really love. No matter what show they're in, no matter if it's a cartoon, an anime, it could be from a game even, or a book. I don't like seeing characters that I really learned to like love and all be hurt in any way. It legitimately makes me uncomfortable. It makes me really, it makes me hurt to see them hurt. And to see how much suffering Narancia was going through in this episode, I was not okay with that. I mean, and it's not even just what they had to do to save him by, you know, like stabbing him through the throat so he could breathe. Like that freaked me the hell out when they did that, even though I completely understand why. But it's just the suffering he was going through trying to tell the truth to them, trying to verbalize what was going on, but not being able to. And not only not being able to, but being forced to say the opposite, to possibly put his friends in danger. Like, Narancia, we've seen, can be a little hot-headed sometimes, and has even fought with his friends, and like most notably Fugo and whatnot. But he does. That doesn't mean he doesn't care about them. That doesn't mean he wants to see them like legitimately get hurt or killed. He just has a short temper. I don't like seeing him hurt like this. Like, I'm using it for my thumbnail. That moment when he's like grasping at his mouth and everything, and he starts to cry because of what's going on and stuff. He's scared. He's terrified. He's afraid of what's going on. Of the fact that he doesn't seem to have control over his own voice and body. That his friends are being put in danger because of what appears to be because of him. And it's like, I'm not okay with it. I mean, it's good. It's written well. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this is bad, but it's like, and I know I've been spending minutes already just talking about this one thing, but it's like this, it really got to me. I've been doing my best just to hold back my emotions here, but it's like there are times where I can't. And I acknowledge that I'm a very emotional person. I acknowledge that I get really emotional over, honestly, what are fictional characters. I acknowledge that. But, I mean, I don't care if they're fictional. They mean something to me. Whether the characters have done amazing things to help save my life, like with characters in My Little Pony, or whether the characters are relatable and meaningful to me on a personal level, or so on and so forth. Narancia is one of those characters who I just really feel like I really care about. I mean, it'd be in the same vein as Sue or Izuku from My Hero Academia. In the same vein as many multiple characters in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Amalia in Wakfu. Or or characters like Marco in Star Versus, and Kelly as well, and so many other characters like that. Characters who I just really don't want to see get hurt. I don't want to see them in pain. I don't want to see them cry. Because I just have this internal instinct to care for them, to love them. Even though they're fictional. Even though they're fictional characters, in this case in an anime adapted from a manga, my mind doesn't equate that as an important factor here. It just equates that these are characters that I care about, and that's all that matters. And so when I see them hurt like this, it hurts me. And it makes me want to cry. And I almost did watching that. And it comes off one episode after we just had Narancia break down out of fear, see him shaking, see him worried, see him begging Bruno to just order him to go. And then coming to a conclusion that Trish is like him. That Trish is similar and that he wants to protect her. And it's like, and you know, last episode, you know that affected me. You know how I said I wanted to hug him and kiss him and just keep him safe and just protect him. I just wanted to be there for him. And it's the same thing here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for rambling on about that, though. Let's. So we have two new characters, two new villains, part of the boss's elite guard. One of them has this shark stand, I guess is how they're describing it, called Crush. And Crush has the ability to appear in any form of liquid and can just teleport between them at will. Otherwise, it's just basically a shark. It can change its size, though, but it's vicious. It has brutal attacks and stuff, as we see at the end with Giorno. Um, and it's apparently quick enough to be able to avoid detection from others if it needs to, which definitely makes it hard to notice, which is not good, obviously, especially in this situation here. Um, and then we had Talking Head, obviously named for the band, who apparently, well fitting for the name, can basically make its way into someone's body and control what they say and do. Now, according to this, the crush wasn't actually its name, which makes sense. The actual name is Clash. So it was so close I couldn't even tell what exactly was supposed to be said, so I was thinking it was still Crush. It's actually Clash, which, yeah, get that reference right off the bat. I'm not looking up all the big details. I'm just looking up the stand and username. So Clash, obviously named for the band The Clash, and the user is Squallow. And then Tiziano is the other guy, okay. And Tiziano has the stand Talking Head. Now, I know what those two are, but what are Tiziano and Squallow's names based off of? Okay, so Tiziano is named after Tiziano Vecellai, who is an Italian painter. Okay, I would not have known that. I know some artists for sure, but I would not have known that one. And Squallow is just Italian for shark, okay. Okay, I won't look up any other info regarding them. I wanted to make sure I got the names and stuff right. So, Squallow and Tiziano, and they're using, respectively, Clash and Talking Head. So we see they're kind of operating off of a nearby rooftop. They're not really getting close in on the action. But yeah, it's most of this is involved with, okay, Narancia has seen what's going on. He's seen the stand. He knows about the other stand in his throat now. He knows this, well, he knows that there's something there, but he doesn't actually fully know what's going on. And he's freaking out because he's basically nearly leading them to their deaths. And obviously that's a problem. So he's doing everything he can, but Giorno starts to figure things out by the end and starts to realize that Narancia can't speak of it. He basically even figures out exactly what's going on. Now, the question is, at the end, we do see Giorno attacked by Crash. So that's not good, clearly. But it kind of ends there. So I'm wondering exactly what's going to happen from there. But a lot of the episode, a lot of it is focused on Narancia just trying to tell them and suffering so poorly, suffering so badly. Just my poor baby boy. I don't want to see him. I don't want to see him like this. I don't want to see him tortured. I don't want to see him crying over this kind of shit. But one other thing to talk about, there's also a bit with Trish. She's kind of made it her mission now. She doesn't necessarily care about her father specifically. She just wants to know where she came from. She just wants to know her identity, her father's identity, so she knows who she really is. That's what she cares about. She's fine with them going after her father, but she just wants to know who he is, so she can know who she is. And that's fine. That's admirable. And I don't think Narancia was, when he was like saying, oh, he wanted to protect her and wanted to keep her like out of the loop and stuff, I don't think he was saying she was weak. I think it was more like he just didn't want her to be in danger. Because he felt that connection to her, he just wanted to make sure she was safe. I'm not saying that he thought she couldn't handle things, but still. And then there's the opening, the new opening. I'm going to definitely have to see it a few more times. It's not as catchy as some other openings. It's not as catchy of a song. It's more of a really intense, dramatic song, which almost doesn't really fit the tone that JoJo usually goes for its openings. It definitely doesn't sound like your typical JoJo opening. It's not bad, and the visuals are fine. I have no issue with the visuals. It's not bad, but I don't know. It's different. It's really different from a typical JoJo opening. I'm just I just need to see it a few more times to really get a good feel for it. And maybe I'll check out the full version of the song if that's already out too. I mean, if it is, it'll be on YouTube for sure. But yeah, it's like it reminded me of something, and I have no idea what. Like seriously, it reminded me of something. Like it was very familiar in its sound at the beginning mostly. I can't think of what it sounds like. I have no freaking clue. But it sounds like another song I've heard. I just don't know what it is. But yeah, either way, it's like I did enjoy this episode. Don't get me wrong. Even though I don't like watching characters I love suffer like that, it was still a good episode. It was still well made, well written, and even though I don't like seeing Narancia suffer, it is well done, and it definitely gives. And I'm glad that it gives me that emotion because it means it's affecting me in a meaningful way. And whenever a show can do that for me, I really appreciate it. When a show can make me fall in love with a character this much that it really bothers me, like legitimately makes me upset to see them face this kind of thing, to see them suffer, to see them sad, to see them crying because of what's going on. So yeah, it's just, I don't like to see it, but at the same time, I like that shows can do that shows can make me feel that, you know? That shows can just make me fall in love with a character that much. And a lot of shows have done it, so I did bring up the example with Sue from My Hero, and Izuku as well, but definitely Sue is like a huge example of a similar moment from that is when she broke down crying after, and started feeling she was useless after she found out she didn't dissuade her friends from going after Bakugo. And when she confronted them about it and she broke down because of it, it's like my heart broke when I saw that. That destroyed me. And it's kind of the same thing seeing Narancia have this kind of emotional breakdown like we had with last episode, and then seeing him suffer and cry because of it like this, and it's just like it's the same kind of thing, and I don't like that. I do, but I don't. Either way, tell me what you thought of this this episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Vento Aureo, or Golden Wind if you prefer, in the comments below. And as always, no spoilers. If you want to, like, oh, how do I put it? Like, tell me something about what we saw that I might have missed or whatnot. That's fine. Just no spoilers for the future. So yeah, thank you so much. And for now, I'm Connie, and I'm signing off. See y'all next time.
And though you've come through many obstacles,